Welcome, Sagittarius. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I'm doing a reading from a meditation about Uranus's entrance into Gemini and its conjunction with Venus, also in Gemini. Uranus moves obviously much more slowly than Venus does, but Venus is in this powerful conjunction that brings up for me this idea about integrating our divine feminine energy, regardless of our gender. We all contain all energies, as we all have all planets, asteroids, moons in all of our charts. So this is particularly for those of you that are identifying and uh, uh, recognizing the emergence of gifts and talents, perhaps gifts and talents you've always had, um, uh, integrating those in a new way. And I think this is challenging the idea that many of us have been conditioned to believe that in order to bring something forth powerful in the world, we have to make sacrifices. And my sense is that in this new world, this aspect is trining Pluto and Uranus. There are many possibilities that never existed before, particularly for our ancestors who are a part of our formation of our gifts and abilities. So this is emerging particularly as your overall energy for this reading, Sagittarius, is the World card. And the World is about stepping into a new world in this instance. This is about you closing out former practices, beliefs, ideas, extracting the rewards and the lessons from those experiences. But this is in recognition of preparation for moving forward on new terms, in new language, with new ideas about what exists. And I do believe part of what we're releasing in this is this idea that it is either or. We can be this, but not that. And this idea of a zero-sum game, like everything has to balance out to zero. I do believe that Uranus is exploding some of our ideas about what balance is and allowing us to refresh that in a world that looks very different from the world of our families, our parents, our ancestors. Underneath the deck, we have the Chariot card. This is a card that is customarily associated with Cancer, and Cancer is a beautiful acknowledgement of this self-acceptance that I believe is at the core of the power that you're able to harness in moving forward very rapidly with this newer, clearer focus on the wholeness of who you are as being the complete package in terms of catapulting you forward very rapidly. This is based on a sense of not trying to be like others, not comparing yourself to others, recognizing that things that you strove for in the past may still be relevant to you today. Just because they didn't meet with some idea of success doesn't mean that you didn't accomplish something that is worthy of sustaining, continuing, growing, and evolving. It's a very powerful message for you. I'm going to pull a crystal oracle, and I'm always intrigued by my crystal decks and would love any information that you have. I do have a few, and I would like information on any more information on crystals. I feel like they are essentially powerful. I find them very empowering and very helpful in meditation and guidance. I am not soliciting gifts. I do not accept gifts, but I would love some information that you may have about crystals in particular, or any other subject, a metaphysical subject that you might care to share. This beautiful malachite, keyword is healing. And if that picture is not so absorbing, it reminds me of the rings in a tree. And that's coming to me because I do believe trees, as many of you may know, are repositories of incredible amounts of information, knowledge, wisdom, and the ability to communicate throughout the forest to other species and other trees, of course. I am a healing machine manifesting miracles. This is a general reading, Sagittarius. It may not resonate for all of you. If you're interested in a personal reading, there's information in the description box below. If you find that this reading does resonate for you, please like this video, share it, comment, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I greatly appreciate any and all time that you spend with me. It really contributes to my energy, and I love what I do. So thank you for supporting me in whatever way you do. In the 10th house, the Queen of Swords. Leo got this card in the same position. This is about the ability to detach yourself from your passions, your emotions, your feelings, in order to pursue your ideas with neutrality, without judgment, um, to entertain, to facilitate, to talk about, to be engaged with new ideas, new pathways, new information, new illuminations are directing you in ways that are building up your capacity to reshare that information, to generate information, or to contribute it towards some place that you are holding in whatever capacity you operate in the world. So if this is a job, if this is a career, if this is a project or something you're discreetly contributing to in your community, you are a beacon of wisdom, of thought. You are asked to advise, to consult. People come to you for your thoughts on a subject, and you appreciate the exercise to develop your thinking in any particular regard. In the first house, the Empress. This is about the ability to be and to do. So this is so much about the energy of balanced love in our lives. All efforts, all contributions, all communication is at some level an expression of love. Everything we build, everything we do is about our manifesting that love into the world. And this comes from a place of not only being in sync with natural processes and timing, being in tune with those that you are working with and working on their behalf, but it's also this ability to receive, recognize, to understand that you're worthy of attention, you're worthy of care. And perhaps for some of you, that has meant the recognition within that you are powerful, that you are creative, that you are whole as you are, that everything that you need is within you. And so that recognition and attention that you get is more than justly reserved. You are special and unique. And somehow in my mind, this goes back to this idea of self-acceptance, right? Not trying to be like others, really relishing in your own individuality and uniqueness that allows you to shine and do what you do best. In the fourth house, the house of your foundation, your soul, your family of origin, your home life, the Wheel of Fortune is about allowing yourself to experiencing the world very differently than perhaps you have in the past. This often talks about really having had to stay the course in some regard, to stay clear, to stay whole, to stay generous, to stay faithful to a belief or vision you've had. And often this can be without recognition, and nevertheless, your ability to not only support your belief, support your effort, but to support others who don't know where their strength is, who see your strength and understand that you're able to help them find their own. And this is really a quite beautiful quality of being able to exemplify and model a person who knows what they're good at, knows they're strong and strong for a purpose. In the seventh house, the Tower card. Oh, you're really rocking it with the major arcana here. The seventh house is describing your significant relationships, of course, and the Tower is you, I believe, allowing the work of Uranus in conjunction with Venus to do its job for you. So my meditation on Venus and Uranus is applying directly to your seventh house with Sagittarius here on your ascendant. And I am a Sagittarius rising, so I understand that this meditation is particularly relevant in terms of exploding the foundation that formerly seemed to be the way things were. The acceptance of the way things were, even throughout difficulties that you have managed to overcome. And that sense of strength with a purpose has gotten you to this place of being able to manifest something very different than what you were led to believe your particular message, effort, person could manifest. The world is so different from when you began. We're changing so quickly that you are in a position now to recognize that sacrifices are not necessary in the way that we were told that they were. It isn't that you have had to make sacrifices along the way, but the idea that you have to give up some core part of yourself in order to manifest your love or something powerful in the world is actually perhaps not as relevant now as it was during the time of our parents or our ancestors. There is the possibility that you can have it all, that you can be what you want to be, all of who you are, bring all of who you are to the table, and still expect all of the things that you desire. And this may sound pie in the sky, but to the Sagittarians I'm speaking to, you've actually lived periods of dramatic manifestation and dramatic periods of feeling yourself alone and isolated from the benefits of the culture. So in many ways, you're seeing your own experience vindicated by new possibilities, remembering that Uranus and Venus in Gemini are trining Pluto in Aquarius. So this is for all of you that know your charts and understand the power that Pluto in Aquarius represents as the new world that we're stepping into. And Gemini represents our ability to manage this new world, to open up to new ideas, to look at new ideas and to be able to communicate those for very different outcomes. So there feels like an incredible awakening here in terms of your understanding of your relationships, and that can signify a powerful connection in your partnership house, a powerful change that you are manifesting, certainly a change in the way you're understanding your significant relationships and their place in your life. I'm going to clarify now, coming from the first house, the Empress with the Ace of Wands in the second house and the Four of Cups in the third house. This is really talking about some new beginning that you have been actually working on for a long time. I don't feel that this is a new gift or talent that you're finding an expression for. I do believe that this project may be something you've started a while ago, but you're understanding it and experiencing it very differently now. And part of that different experience is this different sense of your capacity, your wholeness, even if this gift that you're exercising is something you've always had. You're understanding better the place this has, not only in the world, but in your life. How this defines you, how this orchestrates your comforts, your material environment in a way that speaks to your spirit. The Four of Cups is very interesting because this is, again, talking very explicitly about this new understanding of your deeper emotional, cultural foundation. It looks as though you have learned to practice directly asking for what you want. And this has been, in and of itself, perhaps for the Sagittarians I'm speaking to, very difficult. Perhaps you have assumed that other people would understand what you want or what your goals would be. Perhaps there has been some discomfort with naming the obvious for fear that you would lose it. So there's some abandonment issues that you have been working through and that you have begun to penetrate in order to understand that others are not tasked with reading your mind. Your obligation in any situation, relationship, or environment is to be clear about what you want in order to begin a dialogue, a negotiation, a connection that is authentic to who you are. But it does appear as though something you thought you always wanted is making an appearance in your life, is presenting itself to you, is coming to you, and you're seeing it differently. You don't see it as the silver bullet you once believed it to be. And in that way, you are not only measuring its match to where you are, but you're also understanding that you can manifest perhaps a better match if that's what you desire. In the fourth house, the Wheel of Fortune is clarified by the King of Cups in the fifth house and the Fool in the sixth house. So I like this. The King of Cups is so much about a lot of softening that you've been doing. There's a strong water current to many of you. And you are strongly intuitive and sensitive. And this is not something people often think of with Sagittarius because of your adventurous, bold, seeming nature. But in my experience, this ability to accept, to understand ourselves, to work through our difficulties, to look at our vulnerabilities, is often masked by that freewheeling, bold, outgoing nature. And this indicates this emotional maturity that you are now able to manifest on your own behalf. This is part of nurturing your own creative gifts, not looking to someone else, recognizing the privileges and advantages you've had that are in fact empowering you to understand yourself and your gifts in a whole new way. There is a whole new adventure here that is very relevant to the service that you provide to others. You're being elevated in some social way, in a way that may be somewhat unexpected to you, because I think you're feeling a larger sense of innocence, the kind of naivete and even gullibility that others have often seen as a default of yours, a sort of innocence wrapped in ignorance, where you simply abandon a project and go off to a new adventure, a lot of times out of fear of being found out, a fear of not being able to stay the course, a fear of not being able to withstand the heat or the pain or the difficulty or the exclusion that many of you have felt. In the 7th house, the Tower card is clarified by the Moon card in the 8th house and the Strength card in the 9th house. So your relationships with others are really getting something of a workover here. I do think this in part is a result of the sense of not only self-acceptance, but real balance within you. The sense of loving and being loved is really finding a new place in your identity, in your everyday perspective, and in your physical world, so that you are expressing yourself more honestly, and that is actually empowering the very real work you have been doing with your shadow, with your uncomfortable behaviors, attitudes, and experiences that you are feeling increasingly encouraged to dive into deeper and deeper. And you keep coming up with more examples of your power, of your gift, of your talents. And this is what's surprising you and sustaining this deep journey that you're doing, this journey that is enabling you to show up in the world in a very authentic way. Perhaps for some of you, it's a little less Pollyanna, a little less positive in the way that some would say is toxic, uh, a little more real and honest, coming from an internal place of dialogue rather than a happy face or a looking at the sunny side that perhaps has been your default in the past. So there's a real way that your strength is admired for its realness, your ability to talk about difficult things, to share your experiences with difficult feelings, emotions, and experiences without a sense of doom or self-pity, but really as your source of learning, your source of evolution, development. The 10th house, the Queen of Swords, is clarified by the Temperance in the 11th house and the 7 of Wands in the 12th house. Yeah, wow. You're actually exemplifying this ability to become a healing machine. We're sort of back to the Malachite card, a healing machine manifesting miracles. I really do feel like this strength, Queen of Swords, Temperance triad here is really exemplifying the face that you're now able to show the world. And it isn't by design, I don't believe. I don't believe that you set out to model healing. I think that you are encountering opportunities to express yourself, share yourself, you are being asked for your thoughts or your advisement in a realm of various realms of the public world, where your authenticity, your journey is on display through your actions, through your advisement, through your willingness to talk about all new ideas, all new possibilities as you understand them. And that helps you in some ways recognize the need for this very ongoing private and sacred space in your home, in your heart. You understand better now what you have to defend. And I think for a lot of you, the sense that you of unsuccess, perhaps through a variety of what look to others to be glamorous experiences, has often left you feeling empty, that you had nothing to show for that. And I do believe that you're recognizing now that you have a lot of valuable information, insights, and experiences to contribute. And you're in a place now of speaking to that, standing up to that, defending that against a world that you have felt has judged you, always judged you as being deficient in some way, not enough. I'm going to finish this beautiful reading with a seed and sickle card, and well, let me keep going. So what's come up, and I'm going to take this top card, the oleander, and the number is 32, which reduces to the number 5, which is the Hierophant. This is, in my mind, very much about a commitment that I believe that you are making to yourself, a way that you're modeling and sharing what you've learned with others. This is about tangible modeling, tangible leadership in a way. And if I can stop talking long enough, I have found the oleander. A Louisiana servant thought that she could win favor by sickening her employers with a cake of oleander and then nursing them back to health. Unfortunately, she accidentally murdered them instead. Learn from her story and think your plans through fully before enacting them. You may think you can come out on top by acting the hero in a situation that you've sabotaged, but stop for a moment and question whether you should. Things can go wrong in ways you may never have expected. This prompts me to read from the other guidebook. In this particular deck, the seed and sickle is my new love, and it has 2 guidebooks, one for our inner journey and one sort of for our outer experience. So number 32 in this book, I'm curious as to what the guidance would be. And oleander in the dusk guidebook reads, all that hard work to bloom is over. Things have finally settled down and you've just about caught your breath, but fate has a different plan for you. There's an unexpected wind on the horizon, waiting to sweep you up and upend everything you've put in place. The urge may rise to fight it, but how about surrendering to chaos for once and letting it blow you onto a different path? You may find that things look even clearer upside down. Well, lovely Sagittarius, I hope some of this has been insightful. If you've enjoyed this content, there's more content here. And until next time, my lovelies, namaste.